What if resistance isn't the problem in organizational change, but the diagnostic tool every leader ignores? Because here's the truth: most change efforts don't fail from bad strategy, they fail because of unaddressed psychological resistance. My name is Judith Avatar, and I work for Touchstone Publishers as the announcer woman. Let us get started. A few years ago, a 110-year-old manufacturing firm was rolling out a digital transformation across 3 continents. The tech was solid, the funding was there, the consultants had mapped every workflow, but 2 months in, chaos. Middle managers weren't adopting the systems. Frontline teams were working around the new tools. Adoption rates stalled at 22%. Then one executive did something different. Instead of pushing harder, she paused. "What are you afraid will happen if this works?" What she heard changed everything and saved a $60 million rollout. Here's the data: 70% of organizational change efforts still fail. That number hasn't moved in decades. And McKinsey, HBR, and MIT Sloan all agree: resistance isn't about incompetence. It's about identity, fear, and psychological safety. The neuroscience is even more compelling. The human brain processes change as a threat before it ever considers the benefits. The amygdala lights up. The logic centers go quiet. Resistance is the brain's way of saying something here might hurt me. So if you treat resistance as defiance, you'll miss the deeper message and the opportunity. Let's talk frameworks, and let's start with a big one: Immunity to Change by Harvard's Keegan and Leahy. It explains why smart people resist change even when they agree with it. Why? Because they're already committed to something deeper, something often unspoken. Maybe it's job security. Maybe it's peer respect. Maybe it's the comfort of known routines. When a change feels like a threat to those hidden commitments, people dig in, even if they believe in the bigger goal. So your job as a leader: surface the invisible commitments that make resistance logical. Here's the trap: most change playbooks trigger resistance without knowing it. They increase uncertainty, they reduce autonomy, they threaten status. And that brings us to the second framework, David Rock's SCARF model. SCARF stands for status, how people perceive their relative importance; certainty, the ability to predict the future; autonomy, the sense of control over events; relatedness, feeling safe with others; fairness, the perception of fair exchanges. Every time a change initiative reduces any one of these, the brain sees a threat. You're not just changing workflows, you're poking the social wiring of your team. And the good news? If you know the SCARF triggers, you can design change in a way that reduces perceived threat and increases engagement. In one study by the Neuroleadership Institute, teams whose leaders acknowledged the emotional logic behind resistance saw double the alignment and 31% faster adoption rates, without increasing budget or headcount. But here's the part most leaders skip: the integration layer. Because understanding the frameworks is not enough. You have to build them into how you communicate, structure decisions, and design the change journey itself. Let's break that down. Step 1. Surface the competing commitments. Ask, what would someone have to give up for this change to succeed? Create psychological safety so people feel safe naming what they're afraid to lose. Step 2. Map the SCARF triggers. In every phase of the change, kickoff, rollout, measurement, identify where you're lowering status, certainty, or autonomy. Adjust accordingly. Sometimes it's as simple as giving people small decisions to make to restore autonomy. Step 3. Use resistance as design input. Don't fight the resistance, mine it. If a team pushes back, ask, what's this telling us about what matters to them? Then, iterate the change to protect what's valid. Step 4. Anchor certainty wherever you can. Change creates ambiguity, so anchor what isn't changing. Your job title won't change, your team stays intact. What changes is how we make decisions. These certainty anchors reduce perceived threat. Step 5. Normalize emotional fluency in leadership. Model it yourself. Say, hey, I felt resistance too when I first saw the plan. Here's how I worked through it. This normalizes resistance and invites others to engage honestly. One Fortune 500 firm that rewired its change approach around SCARF saw a 48% drop in anonymous employee complaints about fairness and communication within a single quarter. Not by working harder, by leading smarter. Here's the one thing to remember. If you're not hearing resistance, you're not leading change, you're enforcing compliance. Resistance is not rebellion, it's information, it's intelligence. It's the human system telling you something you missed. Use it, honor it, build with it. If you lead through complexity, subscribe to the Leadership Signals newsletter. You'll get frameworks like this, backed by research designed for real teams.